And of course, Mark Henry,
Still
a part
pissed.
of that streak because you had that match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
I did, and it made so much for my career because I was able to stand across from arguably the greatest wrestler of all time. And the things that I learned, it just made me so much better. When I got in the ring with anybody else, I felt like it was a cakewalk. So just having the Undertaker as somebody like the whole learning psychology, you take it to the doctorate level. I mean, you can stand this close in the ring and you can't hear him. You can't hear nobody. You can't hear the crowd. You can feel the crowd.
Electric.
Yeah, I'm talking about like it perforates through your clothes, like a vibrating, like you're in a car that has a bunch of speakers in it. That's the way it feels to be in the ring with him.
Hey, Mark, I've never wrestled Undertaker at WrestleMania, so I can imagine how big of a match it is. So obviously on Busted Open, we have very educated wrestling fans. So if we pull back the curtain just a little bit, can you tell us about what those couple of hours before the match are like when you're interacting together? How much of what you did with him was discussed and how much was it just, we're going to go out there in front of 50, 60, 70,000 and just do what we got to do?
It was more of what we're going to go out there and do what we have to do. You watch me wrestle 1,000 times. You know what I am. You know what I do. At some point, I'm going to have you on your ass, and then I'm going to grab you by your hand, and I'm going to walk to the top rope. I'm going to walk, and I'm going to knock the shit out of you. And that was basically the way the conversation would go. And then it wouldn't be said nothing else about it. Like, you just went. But the one thing about him is you had to constantly be in attack mode. You can, if you ever went backward, it made you look like you were afraid and you were soft and you would get squashed then. He ain't have no choice but to squash you. It was going to be a quick-ass match. But if you was bringing it, then he can always bang and go into Undertaker mode. But like that was one of the things about working with him that I learned. I felt like attacking everybody after that.
How many Mania matches had you had before your match with him?
4.
So was there any different feeling? Were you more nervous? Were you actually more relaxed because you were in the ring with him? Was there a different feeling inside?
Well, we main evented a pay-per-view 7 months before that, Vengeance in Memphis, Tennessee. And that was the first time that I had ever took a tombstone, which was big for me. And I also took the last ride in that match because if you just beat somebody, then the crowd is not going to be into it. But I'm the only person that was able to kick out of the tombstone. I kick out of the last ride. So I felt honored to be able to get that. It was like, man, Kane didn't get it. He was the biggest guy, physically, him and Big Show. He never attempted it on Big Show, thank God. But he did that to Kane. He did it to me, and he beat Kane with it. So I felt honored. I felt like, man, I got to really step it up because I'm in the ring with greatness.
For me, with The Undertaker, most people don't know this, he was the first person I ever tapped out to. It was on Monday Night Raw, and that was my choice. And I always felt Tommy Dreamer would never give up, never, ever stop. But I said for one person who could choke me out would be The Undertaker. It's very, very real to me. And the only other person was AJ Styles, and he stuck a fork for real in my eye. And that was my doing as well. But those are the only 2 people I ever tapped out to, and one is the greatest wrestler in the world, and the other one was the greatest character in the world.